Hi, welcome again to another lesson of American Sign Language for Families. We have accomplished a lot. When I typed up the big list of all the words that we've already taught, I was impressed. You guys have learned so much, and there's so much more to teach, and there's so much more to learn. So are you ready? We're going to jump right in and get started today. We have had a lot of experiences now developing, kind of building those communication skills, that turn-taking back and forth, the question asking, the answering, and you should really be beginning to develop some good communication with your child. So this is wonderful. What we want to do now is continue to add. There's just a few more things we can add related to questions, and then we're going to start just really working. We're going to start developing your vocabulary, adding new words, teaching you guys how to use this crazy thing called classifiers. We'll be doing that a lot, actually, as part of this question word, but I don't think we're going to get to it today. We'll see. My list is kind of long. I'm worried that maybe it's going to be too much. Oh, you'll be overwhelmed. We don't want you to take off in terror because I've gone too fast or tried to teach too much. So we'll keep it simple, we keep it short, we'll keep it clear. That's how we do things here, right? All right. So we've already finished talking about what, we've talked about who, or also what, or who, and we've talked about when. We spent a lot of time talking about when. Oh, it just popped up in my head. We had a comment, a question said that they really wish that some of these videos, that someone, some brave person, would finally teach the sign for niece and nephew. I'll be that guy. I'll be the brave person who does that. So we've done cousins. We did like a boy cousin, a girl cousin. We did aunts, we did uncles. And I think, I'm looking at my list, but I think we missed it, and I think the person wanted it. Going back to, it's not there. It's not there, I missed it. So all you have to do for niece and nephew is make, my hand is, it's like possessed today. Make an N from the alphabet. And for niece, you're going to take that N. I usually have my fingers, I don't wrap them around my thumb. If you recall, I kind of keep them out flat. You take that right by the corner of your mouth here, and you're going to shake it back and forth like this. Niece, that's niece. And if you do it up here by your temple, you remember nose and up is boy, nose and down is girl. This is nephew. Niece and nephew. And again, you use your left hand or your right hand, depending on which hand you write with. All right, excuse me for a moment. I'm rather parched. Excuse me. So all of a sudden my voice goes away. That's why. Okay, so silliness aside, we have, so niece and nephew. What I want to focus on now is starting a few videos, maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't know if I get crazy, maybe 4. Videos that are focusing on the question word where. And as a parent of a deaf or hard of hearing child, you're going to need that sign. Where are your shoes? Where is your brother? Where is, you understand? So let's start with the question word itself. You're going to take your pointy finger, palm out, about shoulder height. You're going to have your magical ASL eyebrows ready, and you're going to put them down. You're going to shake it back and forth like this. The wrist stays put. The motion is in the of the wrist. Where? 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 Pretty easy, right? You don't have to do any fancy finger work. It's just that one finger, thumb across, where. Now, asking the question is easy. And just like the other questions that we talked about or discussed with ASL, you have access to that rhetorical why, or rhetorical how, or rhetorical who. Any question words you can do. So this is really nice. You'll be able to model the question and the answer for your child while they're learning it. And then, before you know it, you'll be having conversations back and forth with them. It's going to be awesome. Okay? So, with the word where, there are a few other signs that are not necessarily related to answering the question where, but they're still related to the word. So, we'll kind of go through this list, and yeah, we'll just explain as we go. So the next word on my list is the sign to look for, or looking for, or looked for, okay? All you're going to do for that sign is you're going to make a C with your dominant hand, and you're going to make a little circle in front of your face while having a looking for facial expression. So you're going to be kind of like, okay? When your children are very young, that is like really important. That facial expression piece is huge. So you want to really be like, I'm looking for your shoes, or I'm looking for my sandwich, or whatever it is that you're looking for, okay? You can use that to explain what you're doing, or you can use it to, tell a child what you want them to do. You can say, go look for your shoes, or go look for $10 that you lost, or whatever, okay? So again, from my perspective, this sign goes in a counterclockwise. I don't know if there's a way I can turn that will make this happen for you, but it goes in a counterclockwise circle to my eyes. It goes around this way, okay? If I'm right-handed, it goes the other way. It goes clockwise. So, here we go. Look for. Where? Look for. Right? After you look for something, you might find it. Okay? So to do find, what you're going to do is have your hand out, your fingers together, and it's going to be flat. I'm holding it a little higher than it would really be because of the frame of the video. You want it kind of low. And the other hand is going to start, open hand 5, and it's going to pull up into an F. So you start like you're grabbing something. I'll lift the whole sign up a little higher than you would really do it. It's like you're pinching a little something that you found and lifting it up to show everybody. Okay, find. So you can change these verbs to show, like you're finding many things, or you can change them like you found something before, you found it. There's no, like in English, the way we change the spelling of words, that doesn't happen in ASL. You modify the verbs in different ways. So you can just, the basic sign is find. Let me turn this way so you can see again. So my hand here, fingers together, palm down, and this one goes down. My little pinchy fingers are ready. I'm going to pick up and then pull up. And close to find. Did you find it? Yay! You found your shoes, or you found your brother, or whatever you lost. Hopefully not the brother, but anyway. All right, so we have where, we have look for, we have find. And then let's talk about some of the words, the prepositions that you can use to describe where something might be, okay? So, pretty easy. We're going to do the first one is in. This is like, I'll call it puppet hand, but it's that flat O hand shape. And this other hand is like an O itself, but it's turned over like a cup, okay? And you're just going to go in. It just tucks into that hand, in. Okay? And a related sign is out. It's the same hand shapes. Everything is the same, but the motion. This one's going in, and the other one is going out. Okay? In, out. Pretty easy, right? Again, watch that hand shape. It has to fit into, if your fingers aren't in the right shape, it won't go into the hole. So it's got to go into the hole. In, out. A little bit of a change to that sign is if you're going into a building or going into a store, is you'll sign into, I-N-T-O. Here's the hand. This is, I don't know, the ceiling of the building. This is the roof of your house or something like that. And this other hand, flat hand, thumb out a little bit, is going to bend, like it's going to dive in and under, okay? This hand stays flat. This is the base hand here. It's going to stay. The other hand is going to come like this. It doesn't start up high or anything like that. It's just wherever your hand is, it goes kind of flat and bent and works its way down and under, straightens, and then comes out the other side. Into. All right. Try to show it from another angle just so you can see. That's not a good angle. Let's try this one. Okay. Into. Then we have, let's see what else we can do. So we have in, out, into. How about on? On is a really easy one. It's just your two flat hands, fingers together, thumbs out, my left hand down because I'm right-handed, and the other hand comes down and just kind of lays on top of it. You can see on this hand it's kind of curved. On, on, on. In, into, out, on. You guys with me? All right. Just like we have on, we have off, off. Now where this can be a little bit of a challenge for new families or people who are learning sign language for the first time is you're getting into a whole other area of the language that gets more complicated with words like on and off, on and off. In ASL, it's not really about the word on, on. It's about what it looks like. So when we say on, we're talking about clothes on, shoes on. Kind of visually it makes sense, right? When we talk about things like lights, sign for lights, okay? Index finger, ring finger, no, this is my pinky finger, I guess. And this is gonna like flick off the thumb. And you turn it around and you flick off the bottom of your chin. That's why I have this big groove right there. It's from signing light so many times. I just thought you'd want to know. So light, you do it 2 times, light. Instead of saying light on or light off, it really depends on what kind of a light you're talking about. If you're talking about overhead light, you would sign light on, light off. If there's like many, like in a classroom, I have many lights, they're all over the place. I'd go lights on and lights off. I would use both hands. Okay, lights on. I can flash the lights. I could try to get attention of the kids in my classroom. I can pound my foot, or I can flash the lights. Okay, so this is on, off. If I'm driving a car, the headlights. See how I'm making pictures? On, off, on, off. If I'm carrying around a flashlight, I might, do this and show the flashlight on. So what you're starting to see now is the way that ASL really, if you're really competent and you're fluent in ASL, you're not going to be connecting everything with English. You're going to be making pictures. It's going to be a big leap. It's still, again, it's like 22 years now, or I've been probably signing 25 years. It's still a big leap for me. My brain wants to follow English. That's my dominant language. For you, maybe it's Spanish or German, or I don't know. Whatever your language is, this is where things are going to start to get a little bit more challenging. I'm going to challenge you guys more to understand how you make pictures, okay? So, we did on, we did off. I've shown you how you can use lights on or off. Or there could be a lamp by the bedside. Oops, here I am. On or off. I've even seen people talk about like the light switches, on, off, for like the bedroom lights. Lights off. Okay. And again, the lights is just those, start as those 5 hands, and then they close down to that flat O. Again, the O that looks like an elephant stepped on it. All right. We are about 14 minutes in, so I'm going to do a little more. I think we're probably going to need to break this into 2 videos, so we've got a lot to cover. The next preposition sign that I want to show you is with. With. And I don't know if this is just me or if this is the way a lot of people do, but I always kind of have a little motion to it. With. With. There's a related sign that's together. Together. With. So go with Mom, or go with, actually with Dad, and really there's a better way to do that, and that's to use the whole sign with and move the whole thing. Go with Mom, go with Dad, go with me. Okay, there's a lot of different ways to do that, but the sign with. Okay. Your shoes are where? They're with your underwear, your pants, or something like that, okay? So, with. The sign to, it's not used in the same way that we use it in English. In fact, it's really not used often. but it's still a good word to know for more the word towards. Like if you're telling like I'm walking towards the zoo, or I saw a person who's walking towards the house. Okay, so it's just your two pointy fingers, and my left one stays put, and the other one kind of flies through the air and touches the tip. Two, two, two. Or that also means towards. Now, here's the truth. When you're signing ASL and you say you're going someplace, in English we might say you're going to the store. In ASL, you won't really do that. It's extra. It's not necessary for a clear visual picture. So in ASL, they might say, we're just going store. That's all they'd sign. I will go store at 6 o'clock, or I will go home when? All right? They drop the two most of the time when they're answering when questions. Sometimes it's needed, sometimes it's useful, but most times you can just kind of relax, not worry about it, and just sign without the two. We went to Disneyland. We went swimming. We didn't go to Disneyland. We did not go to the park. So this might be a little confusing at first, but as you start to become more skillful, more fluent in sign language, it'll start to make sense that it's not really a necessary part of the picture. Okay? Let's see, we're at 16 minutes. I think maybe this is a good place to stop. And I will add, I have a whole bunch more prepositions, and then I have a lesson I want to start talking with you about classifiers. Really, really important when you're talking about places. You can set up places, you can set up people, they can move around. It's almost like having an action figure set. Like when I was a kid, I had my Star Wars toys, and I'd move the people around. It's a lot like that. You're building, like you're kind of setting up an environment, and then you're putting things in places all around, and then you're moving them around. You're making like a little play here in front of you with your hands, and you don't use the same word for word that we use to describe places or motion in English, okay? It's a lot, but I am sure that if we go nice and slow and you practice and we're all patient with each other, I think that things will be fine. So anyway, I think that's it for today. I'll keep adding to this, and we will see you next time. Bye!